Hello everybody, we're getting ready to do Math 7 Quarter 1, Week 1 lesson plans, and we're going to go over Week 1. Animated PowerPoint math video at ALHgot.com for questions, course materials. Let's go right into our page 1 here of Math 7 Quarter 1, our lesson plans. And it's PowerPoint, there's PowerPoint edition of this, as well as an MP4 edition, video edition. And students, put your name and date here on your lesson plan sheet. And let's go right into our week 1 lesson plans here. And we start up here with our lessons for the week. And we start out here with 1.1. Applying operations of rational numbers, classwork homework. And then we go to 1.1 classwork homework. Evaluating expressions, classwork homework part 1. And then 1.1 evaluating expressions, classwork homework part 2. And then expressions and variables. Then we can get into variables classwork part 1. And then 1.1 expressions and variables homework part 1. And this is page 3 through page 17 on your booklet, students, your classwork homework booklet. And then our standards for week 1 we'll get to after I need to mention here. We have a pretest here. It's our grade 7 quarter 1 pretest. And then we go into applying operations with rational numbers quiz. So we have a pretest and a quiz for week 1. And then our standards for week 1 is basically, we start out with the number system here, 6.NS.3. And then this includes fluently add, subtract, multiply and divide, multi-digit decimals using the standard algorithm for each operation. And then we continue on with 7.EE, which is expressions and equations, and that's 7.EE.6. And then we also use expressions and equations 7.EE.2C. So those would be your Common Core standards there for this week. And for our intro, we have an intro here. For week 1, use variables to represent numbers and write expressions when solving a real-world or mathematical problem. Understand that a variable can represent an unknown number or, depending on the purpose at hand, any number in a specified set. And then our learning targets will be evaluate expressions at specific values of their variables, include expressions that arise from formulas used in real-world problems, perform arithmetic operations, including those involving whole number exponents in the conventional order when there are no parentheses, so this is order of operations, to specify a particular order. So again, that's order of operations, which you should have covered in your Math 6. And then resources, materials, animated PowerPoints, and MP4 versions of lessons, classwork, homework, quiz tests, worksheets, activities and tasks. All classwork sheets are closed exercise. And that means your booklet here, they're all closed exercise from PowerPoints or MP4s, depending upon the choice of the student, or both. Homework quizzes, test assignments available online with corrections provided after submission dates. So you can do this all online, students. And then available in over 100 languages, available online 24/7, closed captioned for hearing impaired, audio for sight impaired. And then for our points, classwork points, 206 for week 1, 60 points in note taking, 291 points of homework, 20 points of quiz work, and then 0 test points here. And our total for week 1 is 577 points for week 1 of Math 7 quarter 1. And modifications and accommodations available online via Google Classroom interface. All this can be done on your phone or your laptop. That is grades, classwork, homework, quizzes, tests, Zoom tutoring on request. And let's go right into our week 1 lessons here. We go into our Unit 6 mixed review here. And then this is our classwork, 30 points here. And this continues from Math 6, Mod 13, Mod 14. So this covers 6.G.2. Apply the formulas. V equals LWH and V equals base times height in the context of solving real-world and mathematical problems. And this is a mixed review here, continuing from Math 6. And then we go into part 2 of this mixed review here as well. And there's 40 points here on part 2. And then we go to our classwork here of 5.5, applying operations with rational numbers. And this is the standard 6.NS.3, which we covered above. And this again is a continuance from Math 6. And this is part 1. We got 32 points here, classwork, 2 points in note taking. And we got part 1, again, operations with decimals. And then this is applying operations with rational numbers. And then this is your homework for part 1. And there's 44 points of homework. And moving on here, we go into 1.1 here. And we go in here to 1.1 classwork. And for this classwork, it's 35 points. You got 42 points. 42 points here of note taking. It's a huge classwork lesson. And it covers 7.EE and expressions and equations, 7.EE.2c. And this standard covers evaluate expressions at specific values of their variables, include expressions that arise from formulas used in real-world problems, perform arithmetic operations, including those involving whole number exponents, in the conventional order when there are no parentheses to specify a particular order. So it'll be an order of operations is what we get into here. And then below this, 7.EE.6, which is use variables to represent numbers and write expressions when solving a real-world or mathematical problem. Understand that a variable can represent an unknown number, or, depending on the purpose at hand, any number in a specified set. And that standard includes 6.EE.2b and 6.EE.4. And again, that's 35 points of classwork and 42 points of note-taking. Then we go over here to our homework for that classwork. In the homework here, part 1, homework, has 88 points of work, 88 points of homework, and then 38 points of note-taking as well within the homework. So there's a lot of points there. And moving on here, we go into 1.1, evaluate expressions. And then this lesson, this classwork, covers CC, Common Core 9 through 12, and .Q.1 standard. Use units as a way to understand problems and to guide the solution of multi-step problems. Choose and interpret units consistently in formulas. Choose and interpret the scale and the origin in graphs and data displays. And there's 34 points in this classwork, and you got 16 points of note-taking for 1.1, evaluate expressions. And then you got your homework for that same standard, 65 points here for the homework. And then we go into part 2 of the same standard classwork is 35 points. And part 1 was 34, so now the classwork is 35. And then you got a homework, part 2 homework is 74 points of homework for evaluate expressions. And then we finish up here with a quiz, the number system quiz, applying operations with rational numbers. So this covers order of operations here. And the standard is 6.NS.3, which we previously alliterated. And that's your week 1. I believe that's your week 1 lesson plans, Math 7, quarter 1. Animated PowerPoint math video at AOL.com for questions or course materials. Thank you very much.